I'm Sarah,
And I'm Chelsea.
and this is Weathered. Okay. Big yawn right when we start.
Okay. Oh man. Sorry.
Good morning. It's weather in the morning, sort of. It's almost midday here. I guess
It's
it's morning.
11 here.
Yeah.
So,
So, we are recording on a Monday.
yeah.
How was your
Usually we don't
weekend?
record on Mondays.
I know. How was your
My
weekend?
weekend my weekend is good. My boyfriend's in town, so
Hmm.
that's always nice.
Fun times.
I know. Long distance relationships.
Meanwhile, we had swim lessons and last basketball game. So it was kind of a busy weekend here. It went
I
by
like
fast.
I like busy weekends.
Yep.
No,
Well, it goes by too fast. I like it too because it's like, I don't know, it's not boring. You have a lot going on, but then it goes by too fast.
I know. Monday rolls around rather quickly.
What was the weather like there?
It's been really pretty, like really, really sunny every day, but like pretty cold.
Yeah. How cold?
But last week it was like 70. So
Yeah.
like lows in the 20s.
Yeah, same. I woke up Sunday and looked at the Weather Channel app and it said 18 degrees. And I was like, what just happened?
I know. I was
What
like,
is
last week I
happening?
wore shorts.
Hmm.
Not today.
Well, today is a story of tornadoes
We're
again.
back to tornadoes.
Yeah. And oh, I'm going to bump the microphone. Hopefully that doesn't make noises.
I heard nothing.
I know people always say when they're recording podcasts like that there's noise happening. I'm like, I never hear anything.
You're
Some people have like superhuman
uh-huh.
hearing.
Yeah.
Well, today's episode is about the super tornado outbreak of 2011.
Yes. I'm
Um,
familiar with this.
and it's interesting because I think 2011 was also when the Joplin tornado happened, which
Hmm.
is not part of this outbreak, but also was even worse than some of the storms we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
So sometimes when we think of 2011, we remember that one. But this one was wild. So today I did my best to kind of cover an overview of everything that happened, but it is a lot. So I just kind of focused on a couple in Alabama that were the worst. So here we go.
Okay.
So this is the story of a storm outbreak that wreaked havoc on the southern, midwestern, and northeastern parts of the United States, April 25th through April 28th, 2011. The death toll of these storms was second only to
The Joplin.
no, no. This is
Just
before,
kidding.
this happened before
Oh.
Joplin. So it was second only to, some of you might have guessed it, the
Oh,
tri
the
state
tri-state tornado.
tornado. Yep, in 1925, which we talked about in episodes 1 and 2.
Mhm.
Another super outbreak, which is referenced often, is the April 1974 outbreak. So we will cover that in another episode. My friend's grandmother actually vividly remembers those in
Oh,
Kentucky.
wow.
So I'm excited to hear her stories from
Yeah.
that 1974 outbreak. And as we know, and as this data shows, April can be a very scary time for tornadoes.
Oh, yeah.
We also recently talked about the 1998 Nashville tornado, which was
Mhm.
also
Was in
in April.
Yep.
Mhm. There were 367 tornadoes in the span of 4 days for this outbreak,
Yeah.
occurring in 21 states.
That's half the United States.
I know. April 27th was the worst day, with 223 of the tornadoes happening on that day. Four of the tornadoes were rated EF5, which is the worst on the scale.
Mhm.
On the 27th, 316 of the 348 deaths, which was the total for that outbreak, occurred,
Yeah.
which is the most in a single day since the tri state tornado.
Yeah. It's a
So
lot of people.
1925 to
Yeah.
2011 was when
Yeah.
that happened again.
We've almost got 100 years.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll start sort of going through the timeline of
Okay.
what happened. So April 25th, the Storm Prediction Center started putting out watches early afternoon for Arkansas, Texas, Tennessee, Louisiana, and Missouri. And by the evening hours, tornadoes were starting to be reported. On this day, there were 42 tornadoes and 5 deaths. Arkansas alone had 18 tornadoes. The first fatality, get ready because this is sad.
Oh no.
The first fatality was an 8-month-old baby
Okay.
during the EF3 tornado to hit Garland and Saline counties. So, this is the story about that fatality. So, after the storm had passed, a survivor, Rachel Jeans, who was only 15, recalls that she was talking to a firefighter. So, standing in the neighborhood,
Yeah.
everything has just been like demolished.
Yeah.
She's talking to a firefighter and they're attempting to help neighbors when a man ran up to her with a baby, and the baby's name was Alexander Ellington. So Rachel, the 15-year-old who's recounting this, said that he was soaking wet and only wearing a diaper. And he also
Oh.
had a giant bruise on his head. He was alive, but barely, and he ended up dying from his head injury later at the hospital. So there's really not a lot of background on exactly what happened, but he obviously had a head injury either from debris or he got thrown or something like that. So, you know, as we talk about sort of preparing, we've said this before in other episodes, but bike helmets, I mean, a baby,
That's
not
tough.
sure that there's bike helmets that small, but
But it
something
is,
to
I mean,
protect
it
their
is
head.
super important to be aware that, like, I would say now I am just going off what I think, but I would say most deaths are caused by debris. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
by being struck by something in the air.
So that's why I think just putting, we talked about the nugget couch jokingly
Yeah,
before,
like
but something
patting
soft
and like,
and
yeah,
padded. Yeah, something padded.
yeah.
The other 4 fatalities were a different tornado, which was an EF3. And these 4 deaths occurred at Black Oak Ranch Estates, which was a mobile home community in Arkansas. David and Catherine Talley evacuated their mobile home and tried to take refuge in a shipping container.
Oh gosh.
The container was thrown 150 feet into a lake, and the couple were killed instantly.
Yeah, I'm not sure that that's, yeah.
I
Mm.
guess it seems more sturdy than a mobile home, but when it's picked up and thrown and you're
Yeah,
inside,
yeah.
it's not
That's,
really
and
going to help.
when you're in a situation like that, you make decisions that you think are best, and it's like trauma responses, and
Yeah, you
you
do the
just have
best you
to,
can,
yeah.
which is why it's best to try to be prepared before you're in the moment because
Yeah. But
that's the
again, like
thing.
people who live in mobile homes, like that's a tough situation because there's like, where do you go?
Yeah. And that's one thing I hope to accomplish one day is to help communities really get storm shelters in place,
Yeah.
especially where there's mobile home communities. Because, but even then, it's like I remember when we lived in the RV for a year, making the decision that it's time to go is really hard because
Mhm.
you're thinking in your mind like, is it going to be that bad? Like, how much time do I have? Is
Sure.
it worth waking the kids up and like getting in the car and going?
Yeah.
Um, so, I get it. But
Yeah.
so Craig Garvin and Charles Mitchell were also killed when their homes were thrown 60 plus yards. So honestly, like if you're in a home, you can do the best you can, even if it's not a mobile home, and it could still
Yeah.
not be good enough.
Right.
So that was April 25th. So now we're moving into April 26th. Numerous tornadoes touched down across several states on the 26th, including Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Kentucky, Michigan, and New York.
Wow.
Luckily, most of these were fairly weak tornadoes. However, a long tracked wedge tornado caused EF2 damage in rural portions of Texas and Louisiana. Also, another EF3 tornado destroyed structures and caused severe damage at Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Mm,
We know
right
where that
above
is.
us. Yeah.
Yeah. It hit around midnight, and security guards there report being able to see the tornado a couple of times when lightning strikes illuminated the sky.
Ooh.
I know it's like terrifying.
It's
That's just,
terrifying, but also like I want to see it.
I know. Well, we'll talk about in a little bit how much video footage there is of some
Oh,
of these.
okay, cool.
Um, but that's the scariest part about these nocturnal tornadoes is you can't see them for the
Right.
most part unless the lightning
There's
illuminates.
terrifying.
And then it's like it reminds me of those haunted houses where they have like the strobe light, like you'll
And
be in
you
like pitch black.
and then all of a sudden there's like a ghost or like a clown right by your head.
That or Michael Myers, like standing in a corner.
I like Michael Myers. I have like a crush on these people, but a clown not so much.
No, it's still creepy when it lights up and you can see them for a minute and then it gets dark again and you don't know where they went.
This is a total tangent, but when we did our little sister Salem tour, I wanted to meet Mike Myers so bad, but we didn't see him.
We got there too late. We were
I
there the
know.
weekend after Halloween.
Halloween. I wanted to do
So
like a prom photo with him.
the
Like,
actors were already done with their
yeah.
street shows
Mhm.
for the most part.
Yeah.
That was so fun.
Hmm.
So, yeah, they saw the tornado a couple of times when the lightning strikes illuminated the sky. Reports of the damage show that winds were upwards of 140 miles per hour, with a total of 55 tornadoes being confirmed on the 26th. But no fatalities occurred that
We'll
day.
take it. We'll
Yeah,
take
we'll
good
take
news in
it.
any form.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy for EF3
Yeah.
winds of 140 miles per hour. So,
Now that I know that it's like EF5s are really rare, it's like, okay, an EF3 is like, it's a big deal. That's bad.
well, and that's the one that hit Nashville that we talked about was EF3. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's to think about that and think about an EF5, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, is like you realize how bad it is,
How, yeah.
how scary. Okay, so April 27th. This is where it gets really bad.
Okay, well, bring it on.
In addition to setting the record for most tornadoes in a calendar day, 223 tornadoes.
Oof.
This day also broke the record for the most tornado touchdowns in any 24-hour period, with 226 touching down April 27th into the 28th. So it's kind of like the overnight,
Yeah. Yeah.
breaking the old 24-hour record of 148, which was
Oh,
set by
wow.
that 1974 outbreak that we
Right.
talked about earlier. Of those 226 tornadoes, 62 touched down in Alabama. So
So,
Alabama took the brunt, I would say, of this day or of
yeah.
this outbreak.
Yeah.
Not to say that there wasn't really
Sure.
bad storms in other states and cities and stuff, but Alabama, which is probably why we remember this day because it wasn't too far. I mean, Fort
Mm.
Campbell obviously was close. And
But we're
then,
also very close to Alabama,
yeah. And so I guess somehow we dodged it in Nashville on these days and it went above us and below us.
which is wild because usually we're right in the center of it.
So scary.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about poor Alabama.
Mm.
There were two distinct waves of severe weather in central Alabama that day. In the morning, they saw several EF1s, 2s, and 3s. And the first one was in the early morning and produced 11 tornadoes across northern and central Alabama. And in those, there were over 50 injuries, but no deaths.
Okay.
So that was the
And we'll
first
take it.
round. It was kind of weak. Got up to three though, but nothing really too terrible.
Mhm.
The second round started in the afternoon around 3 p.m.
Of course.
I feel like it's usually like afternoon or nighttime, which is so
Always.
weird,
Always. When
you
you said 3
know,
p.m., I was like, of course it was. Of course it
when the
was.
kids are getting out of school.
When the kids are getting off the bus.
Although we don't have any schoolhouse stories this time. So,
Good, because those are my least
okay.
favorite
Yeah.
stories.
So, starting at around 3 p.m., the first tornado to touch down that we hear of is the Hackleburg tornado in Marion County. And it is one of the deadliest of this 2011 outbreak. It's actually known as the unsurvivable tornado.
Ooh.
Yeah. So you can actually look up some YouTube videos that really go into depth, and I'll share the link in our
Mhm.
YouTube post and in our blog post to those YouTube videos because this person that I was watching, he really went into depth about these next tornadoes that we're going to talk about. And it's pretty cool because there's lots of video and audio footage that you can check out. But yeah, unsurvivable tornado.
Bad name.
It was initially rated as an EF3, but its designation was later elevated to an EF5.
Mm,
They do we talked about before that they do the survey of the damage after the fact.
after. Right.
Yeah. So as they do more and more survey, find more and more damage,
Mhm.
they often change what they initially thought it was.
Right.
The police chief there said it took nearly a week to even come up with the death count because the town was just obliterated. So trying to like find people, account for people was extremely difficult.
Yeah.
And as it moved through Hackleburg, it moved on and also totally flattened the town of Phil Campbell. And it was so strong at this point that it was just ripping asphalt out of the road.
Oh my
Like there's
gosh.
pictures and video of just like chunks of the road ripped up.
That's wild.
Yeah, because it's one thing to rip grass talk about
Sure.
that, but asphalt is
But like
pretty,
the road,
yeah,
that's a whole different situation.
yep. One wild story that came out of sort of that area was of a meteorologist, Gary Dobbs from Huntsville.
Mhm.
There's a recording of him, and he's at his home on his cell phone, and he's called into a news station, and he's kind of like talking to the meteorologist there. And he's telling the meteorologist on the news that he sees it coming. He's standing in his backyard and he sounds really nervous. You can hear
Yeah.
he's like, I
I
see
bet.
it, I see debris, I see, and then he's like, you can kind of hear him as he keeps talking. He's like, it's coming this way, it's coming right for me. And his last sort of he ends up surviving.
Okay.
But
I was like,
his
oh
last
my
I
God.
realized when I was about to say his last words. It was his last words before his phone was just like
Okay.
gone.
Got it.
And um his words were, I gotta go inside because he's like
Yes.
watching it, and he ends up running inside and barely survived the tornado hitting his house. None of his neighbors in his little neighborhood area survived, that the ones that were home.
Oh my
Yeah, and
gosh.
there was like a restaurant right next to his house that also was just obliterated. So there were many fatalities during this tornado in Hackleburg and Phil Campbell area.
Mhm.
So it continues going though, and it the next tornado that we're going to talk about that really is probably one of the most notorious from this day is the Tuscaloosa tornado.
Okay.
So Tuscaloosa is sort of southwest. I'm trying to like think of the map in my head of Birmingham. Also, the University of Alabama is in Tuscaloosa. So this tornado started a little bit before Tuscaloosa, went through Tuscaloosa, and then up to Birmingham and hit there, which those are two very populated areas.
Mhm.
So we see a lot of fatalities in this one.
Yeah.
The Tuscaloosa tornado was the worst for fatalities that day.
I think I
The
remember that.
most,
2011 is when all my friends were graduating college, and like I had friends at Alabama.
mm,
hmm So this is all kind of like clicking. It's like coming back to me.
yeah, yeah. The most severe damage suggested peak winds of approximately 190 miles per hour, leading to its classification as an EF4.
Yeah.
Now, there's some controversy. Some people would still argue that it was an EF5,
Mhm.
but there were, even though there were so many fatalities and there were a lot of homes damaged, there were a lot of homes that were still standing. So that's why I think there's argument. It's like, well, can we really
Where's
say it was
the
EF5 if it didn't? But,
right?
anyway, it was
It's still
terrible.
really, really bad.
Yeah, that's all we need to know.
Yeah.
The tornado was particularly deadly, claiming 44 lives in Tuscaloosa and 20 in Birmingham, with a total of 64 fatalities and over 1,500 injuries attributed to its devastation. Now, I will say reporting on this is a little different. Some reports I saw total of 64 fatalities, while others reported a tad different numbers, like you might see like 65
hmm
and things like that. So, but it was somewhere around there.
hmm
Really, really bad.
Yeah.
47 homes were destroyed. No, did I say 47?
Yeah.
4,700. Sorry, I read that
Um,
wrong. I was like, no, no.
that's a big difference.
4,700 homes were destroyed.
That's like a whole town. I mean,
Yeah,
literally.
they talk about if you like look it up on YouTube, there was a story on the Today Show where they talked to some of the survivors and they literally said, we've kind of said this in previous episodes, but it's like an apocalypse.
Yeah.
You've survived, your house is gone, you're literally in the middle of rubble.
Yeah.
It's dark and storming and you're looking around. She said there's no one can get in to your area to like
Right.
help you or tell
Right.
you, hey, come to this shelter. So
Yep.
you kind of just stand there like, where do I go? What do I do? All the cars are destroyed. The
Yeah.
roads are blocked. I mean,
Literally, no one can get in and no one can get out.
and it's even hard to tell where to go because your usual
Your
methods of
orientation,
knowing, yeah,
yeah,
is
is
all the
totally
trees are
different.
gone, the homes are gone, you don't know which way is which.
Right.
It's really crazy to think about that.
Yeah. The mental like load that I just like, woof.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I survived. Like, I'm physically okay, but like mentally,
Where am I? What do I do?
yeah,
Where do
that's
I go?
mhm.
The tornado was on the ground for 90 minutes and ended up costing $2.4 billion worth of damage. Just this one.
Ugh.
It tracked through Tuscaloosa and all the way up to Birmingham, like we said earlier, two very populated areas. So, one thing that's different, I feel like, about this tornado than some of the ones we've previously covered is the amount of video footage of this tornado.
I'm definitely gonna go look some things up.
Yes, I mean, it's 2011.
Right. We've
Everyone's
got
got
phones,
cell phones. Uh, The amount of video footage is wild.
and I'm sure
So
you went
definitely go
down
look
the
it up.
rabbit hole.
You can watch so much of the storm, hear people's fear, and
Yeah.
just like crazy.
Yeah.
And the newscasters were also reporting live because they could see it on their cameras. So, you know how like
Right.
news channels have cameras
Mhm.
on buildings and
Oh yeah.
overpasses and stuff like that. So they're live on TV telling people, I see it. It's over there. Take
Yeah.
cover.
Yeah.
But it goes to show you too how it's so nice to have weather warnings and like live people on our phones now because
Right.
how many times are you just watching the
Watching
news?
the we're not.
Yeah.
You
When
know what
you
I'm watching? Bluey.
yeah.
You know, like yeah.
I will say we watched Peppa Pig like all day yesterday when we were home and I
It's
just
so
love
good.
that show.
Did you know that Peppa's mom's pregnant with another? They're gonna
Is
have a
Peppa
baby.
still like live or not live, but like
They're still
still
being
coming out with
made.
new episodes
Yeah, and the mom's pregnant, so there's gonna be another baby pig.
besides George?
Yeah, Georgie.
Oh my
I know.
gosh.
I saw it and I was like, oh, I'm like, fictional pig, pregnant. I'm emotional.
I'm so excited.
I know.
Oh, I love that.
I know. So there's a little joy for you while we talk about
Yeah,
some
while we talk about
sad.
death and destruction.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Okay, so the news channels are telling people to take cover. The first fatality was actually a person driving on the interstate whose car was thrown off the interstate.
Uh,
But this is wild. Many people on that same stretch of interstate survived by hiding under an overpass. And
mhm.
I think we even said previously that you really shouldn't
You
do
really
that.
shouldn't. Have you seen Twisters?
Right.
But yes, underpasses aren't necessarily the best place to go in these situations.
So don't
I
like
think
choose that as your first option. But if you find yourself caught and a
yes,
tornado is about to hit you and you're in your car, then
sure. Go, try, I
maybe it
guess.
can't hurt.
Yeah,
It would be better than just like driving. I mean, they
right.
say not to try to outrun them because I mean, this one was, what did we say? Like 190
I
miles an hour. You're not
mean,
going that
so
fast.
fast. No,
You're not outrunning that one.
unless you like, I don't know. I'm like, I could take a sharp right
You could
turn,
cut
like,
sideways.
but no, we're not in a movie.
The tornado could do that too. You just never know.
Exactly, that's true.
Yeah, and so if you watch some of the videos, there's actually an interview. One of the people that survived under the overpass was a UPS driver,
Uh
and
huh.
he was driving his truck, and it is crazy. And like he's all hyped up and like talking to the camera because I guess the
Yeah,
news stations get there pretty fast. It's like,
sure. Yeah, they're like on standby.
yeah. Okay, so as we mentioned, the University of Alabama is in Tuscaloosa. Luckily, the tornado did not directly hit the campus, but it hit sort of all
Close.
around the campus where a lot of students actually were.
Yeah.
So, six students attending the University of Alabama were killed. And like you mentioned earlier, a lot of them were around your age.
Hmm.
So I noticed that when it showed their like birth date and death date, um, their birth dates were like 89.
Hmm. Yeah, and I'm 88, so that makes
Yeah.
sense.
One girl was actually found 100 yards from where she was taking cover. And what's crazy is her boyfriend, who she was with, he was an Alabama football player.
Oh,
They were together, but like only she got thrown and died. That's crazy. That's crazy too, is how like in Twisters when
yeah.
they're the overpass.
One person can go
Spoiler
and the
alert.
other one can't. It's wild.
Yeah, so
Oh
that
my
was
God.
really
And
sad.
he has to live with that.
Yeah. One thing, oh, and this is another thing that you should definitely look up, and maybe we'll do an episode specifically about like different types of storms and tornadoes and all that. But one thing that you'll hear consistently about this tornado is that it had these rare, what are called horizontal vertices. So a horizontal vertex, but like plural, horizontal vertices. And these are basically, which I'd never heard this before. And I love weather stuff, and I'm just learning all kinds of things
Yeah.
in this podcast.
Yeah.
They're basically rotating tubes of air that go out horizontally. So I'm assuming, which I got to do some more research on these, but when you see the videos of this tornado, it is like this giant funnel. So it wasn't like what we've talked about before of like this black wall of darkness.
Sure.
It was a large funnel, but at the top, it like went out.
Right. So
So it
that's
almost looked like a upside down top hat or something. Like it went out horizontally at the top.
weird.
And then also some of the videos even show other little vortices coming
Vertices.
out like even in the on the sides below
Wow.
that. So
Interesting.
it's very, very rare, supposedly. And it's a sign of a very, very strong tornado.
tornado.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Jeez.
you'll
Please.
definitely, everyone will go watch the videos now that we've
Oh,
mentioned
I
it.
cannot wait to get off of here and go look.
It is scary,
Ugh.
very scary. So, yeah, horizontal vertices.
Okay, I will look that up.
Yeah. So, that is pretty much the overview of the super tornado outbreak.
Ugh.
Alabama just took it really hard that day. I'll post some pictures of the different tracks so you can see kind of how there were so many and where they were and um, how long they were on the ground. And I think Alabama has definitely, we talk about it a lot being from Nashville, Tennessee, how we are the new tornado
Tornado
alley.
Alley,
They used to say it was, Kansas, and not that they don't still get
Oklahoma.
it bad,
Yeah,
but it feels like it's moved
it
to
definitely has.
Tennessee, Alabama.
Sure. Yeah.
And so this outbreak, which as you recall was April 25th through the 28th of 2011, it just challenged and surpassed the record set by almost all previous tornado events except the
Hmm.
tri-state
For,
tornado, which still
yeah,
remains the worst. But it definitely ranks as one of the deadliest and most expensive meteorological disasters that are on record to this day.
it's really wild when you think about it like that.
Yeah.
The work, like one of the worst. And there are some really bad things that go on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Like hurricanes and
sure. So like we're talking
fires.
this
Yeah.
stuff is bad news,
Mother
which makes
Nature.
me even more excited to possibly move out of the state.
Yeah. Well, I moved and it's funny because I joked that I must have brought them with me because
Yeah.
we still have some scary storms up here, but no actual, I mean, there's been some tornadoes since I've lived up here the last 3 years in like the Cincinnati area, but none that have been like this, like these really bad, like southern storms.
Yeah, I did some research of weather in Minnesota just to like see like am I
You got
gonna
to
have
worry about
to
blizzards.
not really I don't think I'm gonna have to worry about much. Yeah, it gets cold, but like we're not scared to like lose life.
Yeah. Um, I was gonna say so. Oh, there were also a lot of people in Alabama that sort of shared as I was looking at survivor stories and stuff like that, and they were kind of sharing about their underground storm shelters.
Yeah,
And a lot of people now are just basically saying like, if I'm gonna live in these areas, I'm gonna
we
have an
will have a
underground
shelter.
safe space. Yeah.
And I mean,
So
it's important. I know a lot of people probably don't have like the means to just go get a storm shelter. Like that is a privilege, I would say.
yeah,
But if you live close to someone who has one,
become friends. It
become
takes a
friends.
village.
And if you have one, please let other people come get in it.
Yeah, let your
Share it.
neighbors know.
Yeah.
My neighbors are nice enough to let us come over if it gets really bad, to their basement. And, I've been talking to my husband about maybe trying to get one. You can like go on TikTok and search like storm shelter, and there's so many
Mhm.
people that will share theirs that they've done like in their garages.
Yeah.
But even like, obviously, I would go in one to be safe from a tornado, but the claustrophobia
Oh
that
yeah.
because they're very small for the most
In
part.
your kit, just have some like
Yeah.
Benadryl or something.
I'll bring my essential oils,
There you go.
my calming things. But yeah. So anyway, that's the story of the 2011 super tornado outbreak. And, one day we may dig in a little more to like individual ones that happened that day. We did talk a lot about the Tuscaloosa and things like that, but I think each one could deserve its own story. So
Totally.
yeah. All right.
Well, that was fun. I mean,
Yeah.
it was fun. The story wasn't, you know what I mean.
Right. All right. Well,
Well, talking at the same time. Okay, well, you guys know where to find us on the internet, but I'll remind you. Instagram at Weathered Podcast. TikTok is at Weathered Pod. That's also the X account,
yes.
just pod. And then on YouTube at Weathered Podcast, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind
Um,
of hard to find on YouTube because we just don't have many subscribers yet. So it might be easier to go to like our Instagram or
and
our
then click the
website
link.
and click the link. Yeah.
So yeah, go to Instagram, click the link, and it'll take you to our videos. And you can see what we look
Also,
like when we do this.
also send us your own
Oh yeah.
weather stories to our
Yes.
email.
We always want to hear about your weather stories. It can be about anything weather related. We just want to know. And that's
Yes.
weatheredpodcast@gmail.com.
Yes. I can't wait to start getting some stories so that we can share those on the show in the
Yeah, I
episode.
think
So,
I have a lot of friends, at least in Nashville, that are very connected to tornadoes. So hopefully we'll
yeah,
get firsthand stories.
I'm sure that there's lots of people out there who have good ones. So please share
Yep.
and we will read them. And until next time, everyone, stay weather aware.
Weather aware. Bye.
Bye.